My name is Brian Galante. I'm the Associate Director of Choral Activities here at PLU, and I've been directing the University Chorale since 2008. This, however, is my first J-term experience, so it's been a lot of fun putting together this program over the past several weeks. With two settings of psalms, one by Felix Mendelssohn, Jauchzet dem Herrn, and then one by Claudio Monteverdi, Cantate Domino. Both songs of exaltation, sing a new song to the Lord. In the example of Cantate Domino, shout to the Lord with joy in Jauchzet dem Herrn. But these are written in obviously very different styles, so it's a good set to compare similar texts but decidedly different compositional techniques. And then we go on to two pieces, two more modern pieces written by Joshua Schenk, his arrangement of Gabriel's Message, and Dormi Jesu, written by Abby Bettinas. These two young composers have made a recent splash on the choral scene, and they wrote these Marian motets, in the case of Gabriel's Message, talking about the angel Gabriel coming to Mary, and in Dormi Jesu, essentially sleep baby Jesus, Mary putting the child to sleep. And then we go on to two world premieres, the first of which is written by our professor of composition here at PLU, Gregory Utes. And the idea for this came about last March. I attended a recital of Dr. Jim Brown, our chair of voice here, and he did a brand new work of Greg's featuring extended techniques on the piano. I knew at that point that I wanted to feature our new chair of piano studies, Oksana Ejokina, on this program. And so I asked Greg to write us a piece that explored various techniques on the piano. It was written in a non-traditional harmonic system, and he's come up with this really effective and evocative piece called Fashion Hymn in the Mouth. It's a text from the Rig Veda, a text from India, a 3,500-year-old text, and it talks about this desperate anticipation as the people are waiting the rain. The second piece is written by a recent graduate of PLU, Jason Saunders. It was not intentional, but it just so happened that both of the premieres talk about rain. Jason's piece is called Monotone. It's a text by Carl Sandburg, and in it talks about the monotone sound of the rain, the multitudinous rain. And Jason's written it in a very quasi-minimalistic manner. It does feature the piano. It has some Philip Glassian characteristics, some Michael Kamen, familiar with the soundtrack to the piano. All of that's in there. It's a really beautiful piece. And then we finish off the first half of the concert with Franz Joseph Haydn's Te Deum. It's another wonderful work that also features Dr. Ejokina on the piano. It's a 10-minute piece, of course, the famous text of Te Deum from the Catholic liturgy. And in the second half of our concert, we'll do some, or Oksana will play some mazurkas of Chopin. And then we'll sing three movements out of Jack Redford's Love is the Every Only God. These are texts by E.E. Cummings that Redford has set in just a beautiful way. Redford is primarily known for his film scores, has achieved great success as an orchestrator and composer for movies. But he's written this set for choir and piano. And in fact, I've titled the whole program, Love is the Every Only God. The lines of that poem seem to provide the common thread for each of the sets of the program. We then do two pieces by Heinrich von Herzogenberg, who was a contemporary of Brahms. And these are wonderfully romantic German works, beautiful poetry, lush, sweeping melodic lines, thick piano part with just these swirling, beautiful harmonies. I think it'll be a lot of fun to put together. And then we finish off with three spirituals, one relatively new, I've Been in the Storm So Long, written by Jeffrey Ames after Hurricane Katrina several years ago. And then we go into Give Me Jesus, arranged by Larry Fleming, and then finish it off with The Word Was God by Rosephanie Powell. These three spirituals kind of make a progression from despair or from pain through faith into hope, and that provides a fitting conclusion to our concert. We have a tour cycle here at PLU, and we try to go different directions with each tour. And it was our turn to head east. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that basically everywhere is east from here. And in coming up with ideas for where we should go, we're also talking about broadening the sphere of recognition and getting our name out there just beyond our region. Texas became a really viable alternative because I have connections there, and it was an area that is has a rich population and a rich tradition of choral music, just as we do in the Lutheran tradition. And because I have contacts there and some opportunities and some familiarity from when I lived there, it seemed a natural choice to go. I have a wife and 2 kids. I have taken up sailing since moving here several years ago, achieved a couple levels of certification of sailing, and before I fully embarked on a career in music education and conducting, I actually was in a pre-med curriculum. I've always had a fascination with medicine, so that has informed and led me to voice science as my related field. When I applied for PLU, I was a visiting professor at LSU. I was on a 1-year appointment there, so I was seeking jobs and looking around at the openings. I knew of the choral tradition at PLU going way back. In fact, I had seen Choral Union perform at the ACDA conference in San Antonio in 2001. And of course, the tradition has continued, so I was very excited about the prospect and the opportunity to come. When I came to interview, it was the first time I had ever been to the Northwest, and it was one of those glorious, crystal clear spring days, and everybody kept telling me that the weather was like that all the time around here. I knew it not to be the case, but nothing can compare to the beauty of this area, and I fell in love with the school, the students, with the faculty, and certainly the area here immediately. The program that we take from the beginning stages of rehearsal, where we're just reading through the music, to the final stage where it's a performance, that progression is really meaningful. And those, are some of the most vivid memories. I certainly, one that sticks out is our WMEA performance several years ago. All of the Christmas performances stick out because of the magnitude of putting together those productions. But I do have a fond memory of my first year here doing one of Jack Redford's pieces, Welcome All Wonders, and him coming up for the performance, and that was really wonderful. Of course, last year when we did Pacific Sanctus by Robert Keir, and he was present and did a residency with us during that. That was wonderful. I like working with new composers and championing new works. As a composer myself, that's certainly a no-brainer, and given the opportunity to bring in people and hear their take on their music, John Muehlheisen, certainly from this area, Ola Yelo has been here as well. Those have provided some really strong memories.